Hello everybody and welcome back to our little farming adventure. Now, this is the second to last episode. Today's whole thing is finishing up all the buildings. Between this episode and the last episode, which is going to be the final walkthrough, the next video, we are going to be putting up some more buildings. Now, these are just going to be filler buildings, just to make the place look more populated, because we have a lot of space over here that still needs to be filled up. You can see dots of purple wool in some places. That is where buildings are going to go. I have a little lean-to that's going to be going underneath the bakery for storage. I have some buildings here, some buildings here. One right here. And I'm just going to go until I run out of resources. I do have more resources back there, just right now I haven't collected more of them. I'm starting with this and we're gonna go until I run out. So we're gonna start from this end and work our way down. Now I'm gonna show you all the areas where I have the purple wool before I get started. I have these two over here, which are gonna be smaller buildings. I'm gonna have this one a bit further forward and this one a bit further back, just to give more space to this area, and probably put a few fields across the back of this. In fact, these are probably where the hops field is going to be. I have one here, which is probably going to be along this area. I have this one, which is marking actually a storage building that was supposed to go right here. Of course, I have the one all the way back there that I still haven't put in yet. And then I have another one back in here. You can see it just barely. That I wanted another one kind of like the one that's over there where it's behind a field. I wanted another one back here that was like that. And then of course I have this little lean-to that's going to go dip down underneath the bakery as basically an underground storage area, which is how people in more warm climates would have kept things cool. There's a zombie somewhere. But those are all the places for these. Now I also, in my inventory, hold on, away from the sheep. In my inventory, I also have some pathing blocks, my trees, slabs and stuff. So as I'm putting in these buildings, I can start working on pathways in between these areas. I probably need to run and grab some coarse dirt and fill up the rest of my inventory with it. But I also have all of this I've got to get through. We're going to start with this building, and we're going to just steadily work our way over. And this is going to be the last, official video in this series. I still have the last video where I'm going to be doing the walkthrough, which is just going to have music in the background, and I'm just going to be describing areas and stuff like that. Last video is just going to be showing off what we did in this series. I will be, in between these episodes, starting up another series. I will be officially starting my next season of the Better Minecraft series. So, the most up-to-date Better Minecraft version I can find, I'm going to use that one, and we're just going to start going along with Better Minecraft and such like that. But that is going to be the video for later this week. Today, we focus on building. Okay, took about, I want to say 20 to 30 minutes, but here is our first building. Has a small dock out the back because it's right on the water. I do plan on putting in the planter boxes and stuff like that. That's going to come before I start on the next one. But I wanted to fill up this big spot of blank space here, because you could kind of just see straight back, and I wanted to block off the sheep farm from being visible from back here. So this really helps close in this area a bit more. I'm thinking about putting a lot more greenery in the center area and allowing our main path that's coming along here to instead go forward from here. and just put in a lot of greenery through here to help block a bit more of the visual going further back. I think I'm going to go ahead and throw in maybe a few trees. I actually think I have a few bushes as well. And I know I have my pathing blocks. Okay, don't nearly have enough seeds to finish filling this in, but I was going to make this like a little bit of a beetroot field. Now I did keep a little bit of the exterior space here. I'm going to turn this into a little bit of an outdoor seating area for the Farmer's Delight building because the interior of this is kind of built like a restaurant or just a massive kitchen. So I can put some restaurant seating out here. And then I have this field for the beetroot. I have this one for wheat, and then I have a tiny field outside the front of this house, which this, if you didn't know, was my starter house. So we do have a few crops that are out here. That's going to be a beetroot field. I'm going to slowly build this back, but you can kind of see how I'm blending this back. Starting from this area up here, we finished putting in this house, and we're just going to slowly take this backwards. Now this pathway, well, this one right here, is going to end here. This is only going to go to the sheep farm. This pathway that's next to the tea house is the one that's going to go further back, along with this one. Like, this main path here ended at the vinery building. This one is going to come to meet this one, and then this is the path that's going to go all the way back into here. So what I'm doing today is essentially blending back and slowly putting in our buildings as we go. So back here, I'm going to have to put in more trees and stuff like that. But I'm going to finish up this bit of pathing and start the blending of this path going further back. And then I will cut back in and show you guys what I've done. Okay, and there goes the blending. I'm still getting some crops in all of this. But I also put in a small garden outside of this house to help blend a bit of its space downward and give it a little bit more of a focus down on the ground level. I also have this out here, which we can probably make as a small outdoor cooking area maybe, or just as another sitting area. I don't quite know yet. Maybe it could be a workstation or another like small market over here. I don't quite know yet, just I felt like this area felt a little too blank with all of this area being just grass and flowers, so I decided to mark it up with a few more of these areas. I did do a small one over here. Now this is going to be a little bit of a fire log pile after I get done with this box and move it back to my storage area. But right now it has all of my stuff in it from building this house, so I'm just kind of leaving it here. Originally it was up here, but I moved it down. And then going up this way, I do have a few new trees in place to help bring life further this way. I feel like I need a bit more bone meal down on this side. And then this goes into the auto sheep farm. There's a cat in here to keep creepers out of here. And then of course the actual sheep farm over here that has the goat inside and all that other stuff. It's over here. And then back on this pathway, now I haven't finished up this path area just yet, but I have done this because it was kind of in this general vicinity, so I wanted to get this done too. But this is another little sitting area for the tea shop that's over here. If you don't want to sit next to these gardens or anything, you can come down a little bit further this way, and down in here there's going to be another small area just for a little bit of a reading nook. I think I'm going to put like another tree maybe here or here, just to help cover this a bit more, but I didn't want to cover the area completely in trees. But you can kind of see the blending is happening. It's coming all the way down this way. Now I still need to put in a few more trees back in this area. I think I'm going to come over here and fix this real quick before I continue down this way. But I'm going to go down here, fix this, and then I'm going to jump back whenever I've completed this area. Okay, and that completes this pathing going all the way back here. Now, I've got to get all three of these buildings in place to figure out how I want to do the pathing through here. Now, I know I wanted 3 buildings to fill up the space. How they're going to be positioned and everything, I'm going to figure out on the fly. Because I don't even know if I want this building over here or I want something else here. I don't quite know yet. I know one of these buildings I want a little bit further back set, and I want one a little bit further forward set, and then have like a little bit of an area in between them. How those are exactly going to be positioned, I don't quite know yet. Okay, so some plans have been brought in. I've got my 3 buildings right here, and then I'm planning on this actually being a field. So the pathway is going to go up and into here. There's going to be a small pathway that comes up to here. There's probably be another tree right around here somewhere. And then this is probably going to be like an outdoor area of some sort. But this is going to come back into the field of hops for the brewery. That's right here. And then this is probably just going to turn into more of just the filler area like I have over there. This area is probably going to turn into that as I move this pathway back this way. And into this, which this is going to be a general storage area. This is actually where I'm going to move my personal storage. I'm going to move it out of the building that's over there and move it down underneath here so it's not aesthetically in the way. So all of my storage is actually going to come from out of there and down into here, and I'm going to convert that into actually being a designed storage. I've already kind of started that by moving some stuff around, but this is going to become my new storage room and the basically final resting place of my storage. It's going to get its own little roof over it. It's a very tiny exteriorly, but it's going to go completely underneath the biggest building we have here. And I'm eventually going to do another step down so I have more space. But I do have just the general starter area where I'm going to put in a bunch of barrels and stuff to just throw in some of my more basic items. I actually think I'm going to move the torches from back here to here. And I'm probably going to put in like some shroom lights and stuff like that. I'm actually thinking about taking this back one more so it's completely even. So I'm putting in like a shroom light in the center. But yeah, that's where my storage's final resting place is going to be. So I can convert this big building into being basically just a decorative storage room. It's not actually going to have any storage in it. It's just going to be a story-wise storage building. And there we go. The path is finished up into these houses. Now, I did put the, ribus, I think is what that's called. Ribus? One of those. I did put that tea leaf over here because it looks kind of like wheat. But it's a slightly different texture and it sits lower. Just, I like how it looks a bit better. And then this is going to be the hops field. I need to get all of this done. Now, this isn't the hops that are actually part of the brewery mod. This is a different variant. I actually don't remember what mod you're a part of. Oh, okay, you're from the clutter mod. I don't know. But the hops from the brewery mod, for whatever reason, I couldn't get more seeds out of it. This one, I can literally just take the hops and convert it back into seeds. So it's going to be easier to fill up this field with those than the hops that are actually from that mod. That being said, I went ahead and put in some of the trees to go ahead and mark around this. And then the next area we're going to be working in is over here. So I went ahead and did the line through here and the pathway through here. Goes all the way up to the step up, which is going to come over this way and become another set of buildings over here. Now, this is a coarse dirt path. I'm probably going to take another wheat field and move it over into this area. Just because wheat is the most common, and we do have a bakery on this island, so having more than a few wheat fields is probably a good idea. But you can kind of see from map view how much area I've really covered here. Now, I do plan on going back here and putting in some more trees. I just have like a few back here right now that you could see from the front end of the building. But when I get down here to detailing this area, that's when I'm going to come back along this area and just detail all across this coast. But I'm trying to finish up the center and work my way out. Originally, I was just doing this side, but now I can keep moving. Because now this pathway's done, so now I've got to come back to this pathway. And that first step is figuring out... Ooh, I don't know what was going on there. But I want to finish up this area, which is just going to be a wheat field. And then I've got to start getting in some more buildings. I need one here. That's going to be like a storage facility. And then another few farming houses. I want to get those 3 built. And then come back in and show you guys what I was working with. And then we're going to go in and detail everything. So we're going to start from the pathway down here and work our way down. Okay, and there we go. Framework for these buildings. Now, I do have like a small staple hand building over here. That's going to go into place. It's going to be more of the covered places over there. Because I still have so many of these donkeys just running around. I need to get rid of them. So that's those 2 buildings in place. Or at least these 2 buildings framed out. I'm going to run off and quickly frame out my other buildings. And then I'm going to jump on actually building out some of them. Alright, and there are the plans for that building in place. Now I do plan on doing a second story over this, which is the reason this looks like this. This is going to end up being like a full fenced in thing. Actually, I'm going to re-put this wall in. For like a horse or one of the donkeys can come down here. It's going to be a small fenced in area for the... Okay. For the animal that's going to end up being down here. Now, you know what they look like at the start. You know what my plans are for the buildings. I'm going to try and blast through as many of these buildings as I can. My main goal for finishing up this episode is to get this building in place. These 2 right here. Because these are main storage buildings, and these are going to be where a lot of decoration is going to end up being. These 2 are more just basic residential buildings. They aren't anything special. So the main buildings I want to get in place are these 2 bigger buildings here. That are actually going to have a purpose. So I can finish doing the pathways through this area. And once the roads are finished, then it's just final detail stuff. Which I can do in between this episode and the last episode in the series. So I will jump back in once these buildings are in place. Okay, sad to say I'm going to have to finish this video off here. I've actually ran out of time. This video is supposed to go live in like an hour and I haven't even started the editing on the first half of this video. So I'm going to have to stop this here. I did get this building most of the way done. This one's also partially done. In the next episode, all of this will be done. It's probably going to take me about a month to get it all done because I'm also going to go in and put furniture inside all the buildings, finish up with the tiny details, put flowers where there needed to be flowers, things of that nature, finish up pathways, finish up farms, finish up any of the buildings that I still have to polish off, like the 2 buildings I haven't even gotten started on yet, that one and that one over there. I have to get the bees bred up, which I've already been working on in between episodes anyway, but they need to get bred up. I need to put decoration inside 95% of these buildings because I would finish a mod and then immediately jump on the next thing just to get the next video out. So I haven't been able to work on everything in between episodes, but since in this episode, I got 95% of what I needed to get done. I think the last thing I needed to do was get these 2 buildings done and then get the pathway connected. I can actually just buckle down and hard focus work on this in between episodes of my other series. Now, what series is that? Better Minecraft is starting its season 2. Literally this next week. Which is going to be a whole thing. I have no clue what I'm going to do. We're going to see what happens whenever I get into the world. So, with all that said and done, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!